The first 100 days, the ultra-sensationalized arbitrary landmark is turning into a primetime showdown between the elites versus the deplorables, as the who's who of the mainstream media carouse in Washington, D.C. for the annual White House Correspondents Dinner. Same time, President Trump is going to be breaking precedent and will be celebrating with a rally in the heart of Middle America. So which one will you be watching on Saturday night? Joining me now, Washington Examiner White House correspondent Sarah Westwood and former Ohio State Democratic Senator Capri Cafaro. So Capri, who are you going to be watching? Are you going to be watching Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Middle America, or all the elites inside the Beltway?
Well, look, you know what? I mean, you said I'm from Ohio. I represented northeastern Ohio for 10 years in the Ohio Senate, so I am Middle America, and I also have one foot here inside the Beltway, so I feel like I have dual citizenship. You know, I will be earlier in the evening hanging out with the elites.
You're going to be there at the Correspondents'
I'm actually
Dinner.
not going to the dinner itself, but I will be going to some stuff beforehand, and then I will be watching along with the deplorables.
You know, I've been to enough of those things just not to enjoy. I just don't enjoy myself. Everybody's so stuffy and uptight. It just bothers me. But, Sarah, this is a genius stroke by Trump, I think.
Agreed.
I mean, it is really pitting Middle America. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is as Middle America as you can get against the elite that he ran against, right?
Right. The administration really couldn't ask for a better split screen on the evening news on Saturday. They'll have President Trump in a blue-collar area of Pennsylvania talking directly to his voters in this unfiltered format that will allow him to focus on what he sees as his greatest first 100 days accomplishments, juxtaposed with the mainstream media that his voters hate, dressed to the nines in the most glitzy, overwrought event in Washington.
Yeah.
That's the kind of comparison that Trump craves. That's exactly why he's doing this. And a side note, he might relish the fact that it could prevent several White House correspondents from going to the dinner because they'll be forced to cover his rally.
That's true. And Capri, it also has to be, I grew up in Washington.
That's right.
I know the media very well. 90%, I would venture to say, voted against Donald Trump. They may not have voted willingly for Hillary Clinton, but they voted against Trump. So it really represents Democrats. That's what the Washington Correspondents' Dinner represents. When will Democrats get it? They have to reach out to Middle America. That's why they lost the election. Who's going to do it?
I couldn't agree with you more. And you know, as I said, being from Ohio, you know, I'm often shaking my head trying to figure out, you know, when are we going to get past this inside the Beltway? The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee comes in from on high and decides to, you know, bring Washington into these local congressional races in the middle of the country. We need to focus on our economic message. We need to make sure that we are, I mean, the reason why Donald Trump won was because he took a populist economic message that was traditionally Democratic, and we, as Democrats, became the elite. That's why we lost.
Sarah,
we need to refocus.
We saw a little outreach over the weekend when Tom Perez, the head of the Democratic National Committee, appeared to be reaching out to the pro-life movement, saying there was room in the tent for them. Then he got such pushback that he reversed that and said, well, we couldn't support anybody that was against Roe v. Wade. I mean, he had the right instincts at first, but the weight of the Democratic Party was against him. I don't see them changing at all, do you?
That's a real problem for the Democrats right now, is that their vocal progressive wing is pulling the party further to the left at a time when they need to be moving closer to the center to reach people in the heartland of America. That's a serious problem for Democrats, and the plight the Democrats are in is on full display with Tom Perez's national tour, because it's all about resistance to the Trump agenda. It's all about obstructing Republican priorities, and it's not articulating a separate competing vision for Democrats to vote for.
Ladies, stay there for a second, because it happened again. A federal judge, this time in San Francisco, has blocked a Trump administration order to withhold funding from sanctuary cities. So the question, Capri, is how does this affect momentum as the 100-day milestone approaches?
Well, you know, I think that this is, you know, the critics in particular will look at this and say this is just one more example of how, you know, Trump's policies are short-sighted, potentially unconstitutional. You know, you put this up against the travel ban and its failure. You put this up against, you know, the health care bill that came up short. And this is just one more example. We do have 3 branches of government. This is the role that the judiciary plays. The administration has an opportunity to appeal, but it certainly is not good for optics. That's
well,
for sure.
And now, if they do appeal, which they probably will, it will likely, if it goes up to the Supreme Court, have 9 justices 5 of whom lean conservative. So that may change things quite a bit. Ladies, thank you very much.